Hello and welcome back. Today we are doing something a little bit different. I've been talking about doing this for a long time and I've finally gotten around to doing it. So these are all of the fake £2 coins, the majority of which I have found. Some have been sent to me during my £2 coin hunt. I believe, if I remember correctly, there's £108 worth of fake £2 coins, and considering I've been doing these coin hunts since 2018, so that it ended up not being too bad on an annual basis, but I keep them all. I have a little bit of a collection, but I said that I'd go through them and we'll just have a look at some of the common themes, the different years maybe, and have a look at what you can do to spot them. So something like this is a much more convincing fake, the reverse at least, but look at the obverse. We can see it's quite clear that the Queen's portrait is totally wrong. So that's a 2011 one. We'll sort them by years and then just see. So there's another 2011 dated one, but again, it's got a rotation error. Queen's portrait is terrible, and again, the details on this aren't quite right. But again, the metal colour on that is quite convincing. Another 2011 one, again, more convincing than others, but the Queen's portrait again is totally wrong, but it's again a different portrait to the other portraits we've seen so far. So again, a bit of a weird one there. They all turn 2015, and again the colour on this is totally off. The sort of brassy goldness and the silver is just off. The portrait isn't actually that bad, but again it's just the colour of it is just, I know that £2 coins they change colour over time, but again, that is obviously totally wrong. 2012 now. What's wrong with this one? Oh, here we go. It's just, again, the details in the Queen's portrait are wrong, and it's not like it's just been worn away. It just, again, it's got that weird sort of sheeniness to it. It's a bit flat again. But it's 2012, so there we go. We've got 2011, 2012, 2015 so far, and then 2013. What's wrong with that? Oh, there we go. Queen's portrait. Looks like the Queen's been stung by a bee. Not very nice. What are we at next? 2011 again. Is that similar to one of the ones we had before? No, again. It's this one again. It's the colour of the coin is wrong. The details and the Queen's portrait is wrong. You can see where the goldiness, well, it's not gold, but for the colour, the goldy brassiness is leaking on into the inner part of the coin, but not in the right sort of way. So no, there we go. 2011, again, that's fairly different from the other ones we found from there. 2013, again, something very wrong with the Queen's portrait there, but also, if you can see, the rim of the coin here is far too raised. It's far too high. So that's very much a giveaway, but again, it's a different. I was hoping we would find like loads that look quite similar. We can say, well, these are obviously manufactured by the same person. Another 2011. Again, the portrait's not quite right. The reverse, they've etched in that security feature, so it doesn't change at all when you move it around. So again, it's different from the other ones, though. I thought maybe as we continue on through it, as I said, we've got a fair bit of them to get through. Another 2011. That's just an awful portrait, isn't it? Again, it's not quite the same as the other ones we've seen. 2008, so that's more an older one. But again, you never know, this could have been struck this year. Because just the year on it doesn't mean that it was obviously minted in that year. 2011, so you can see, unfortunately not single metal. They've obviously they've used some sort of plate on the outer part of the coin that's worn away, revealing that it is not the right metal. And again, Queen's portrait is very wrong on that. So another 2011. There's lots of 2011s so far. 2015, again, I think the reverse is quite convincing on this one, but the obverse, I'm not convinced that's actually a fake. It might be, but this one looks like it could just be the damage to it rather than it being a fake. Oh, now I'm getting myself in a muddle over... I've just emptied out my oddity box and pulled out all my fakes. So 2011 again. It's no, it's not quite similar to any of the other ones we've had again. Another 2008. Surely these have got to be similar, right? Maybe. The metal's a little bit off. Maybe the dye they're using for the Queen's portrait has worn down, but then you'd expect more wear on the letters. Are the letters a bit chunkier? Maybe. So they are similar, but again the raised rims are much higher on the one on the left than the one on the right, so maybe not as closely related to each other as we think. 2015, again, the colour's wrong. There's lots of detail in the portrait, but the portrait just looks wrong. Again, there's got a weird sort of pewtery sheen to it, so... 2011 again. Oh. Rotation error, but again, it's just the details in the Queen's hair and other parts of the coin. In fact, you can see where the two halves meet. It's not, you will see these not perfect on circulating coins anyway, but again, it's not the same sort of error or variation that you might see in circulation. So again, definitely another fake. 2011. It's 2004, this one. It's the earliest fake we found so far, and again, it's just the details are wrong. You can see where the outer bit is bleeding into the inner. There we go. 2004. 2011. Rotation error, and again, Queen's portrait not quite right, and again it looks a bit browny, the brass part of the coin there, but again we haven't got any that are quite the same. Oh, actually these two might be a little pair. What do we reckon? I think they look quite similar. The metal's a little bit off colour. They both got a similar rotation. I think we might have our first pairing there. Not perfect, but pretty close. 2014. Again, just the Queen's portrait is terrible on that one. We haven't even 2014 so far. Got a little date run going here. Queen's portrait's totally wrong and their colours are off. 2015, I think that might be similar to that one there. Same rotation, same sort of pewteriness to the portrait. I think they've been made at the same time. 2008. Have we had in 2008? Yeah, I think we have. The portrait is definitely very similar. That sort of smushed face that the Queen is pulling on it. So I think, again, we're going to call that one a pair. Right, 2015. There's a slight rotation to it, and again, it's just the portrait of the Queen is not quite right. It's a bit faded, but again, not faded in the way it would be faded in use. That's a bit of a borderline. Is it fake? Isn't it fake? 2011. There we go. Oh, we've seen that portrait of the Queen before, haven't we? Yes, is it that one? It looks similar, doesn't it? Oh, look. A bit of fried egginess to it. But no. We'll call that one a pair. 2014. Again, reverse is quite convincing, other than the security mark on the inside. And again, the Queen's portrait just looks very, very flat. Very different from the way that this portrait looks differently, the other 2014 that we found, or that we've had a look at. 2012, again, very obvious colour is wrong on that. The Queen's portrait is actually quite convincing compared to some of the other ones that we've seen. Have we had any other 2012s? Yeah, but again, just very different. 2009. 2009, yeah. Again, it's just a smushy portrait. The Queen is pulling a very bizarre face on that one. 2011. Ah, that's the same one, same as the other one we've just looked at, so I'll pop that with that one. 2011 again. It's just the colour being off on that one. And the portrait's not too bad on that one, but it's definitely a fake. Whoops. Have we had one like this so far from 2011? Yeah, there we go. So those two are very similar looking. So I'm going to pair those up. 2011 again. Ah, is that the same? Yeah, again, it's a different rotation, but I think these two are a match. So maybe they've adjusted the die that they're using to make these fake coins. 2013, again, it's that weird sort of pewteriness to it. Have we had one like this? No, we haven't. And again, this one is totally the wrong colour. It doesn't look the right size either. It might be where the two halves, the two parts of the coin are meeting. And again, terrible portrait of the Queen. 2015, yeah, there we go. It's our third one like that. 2013 again, just a bad portrait of the Queen. Have we got one like that so far? There we go. That's a match. Close enough. 2015, again, wrong colour. The portrait of the Queen isn't too bad, but again, it's that weird pewteriness to it. Got a few of those now. At least we're making some pairs now. This is what my intention was, sort of pair them up and see where, if they could, if we can see that they've come from a similar factory or batch. 2011. These might be a bit similar. The colour is of the metal's similar. The rotation isn't the same, but I don't think it's too much of a stretch to call those two a match. Another 2015, totally off colours. Rotation error to boot. So there we go. 2012. Again, it's just the way that the Queen's portrait has faded is very irregular to the rest of the coin. So 2012, I don't think we've had one like that. Oh no, we have, look, see? Very similar in the way that the Queen's face has worn away, and I think this is probably a later, I can't decide which one's got the better portrait actually. Yeah, so I think this one's more faded, so this has probably been struck after this one, but potentially the same batch. Not saying that it's not an exact science, but another 2011 one, very high rims. The colour isn't too off, but the portrait certainly is. We had one like this for 2011 so far. Maybe those two. Again, the Queen's portrait looks the same, but some of the more of the details have been worn out on that one there. We'll call them a match. 2011. Again, that dodgy portrait of the Queen, which I think we, there we go, we can match those up together. 2004? No, we had another 2004, but again, see the portrait looks similar, but the metals look a bit different, so potentially using the same dyes but using different metals to make them. That is assuming that they've been made in the same place by the same people. This one I think was the one I was given. It's obviously it says copy and it's plastic, so that's not going to fool anyone in circulation. You would definitely notice that. 2010, I haven't got any 2010s, so we'll just pop it off to the side there. Back to 2015, again, it's just an odd portrait. The Queen looks a little bit worried, sad, upset. I don't think we've had one quite like that yet. No, so that's another unique one. 2012. Again, the key thing on this is the colours are just totally wrong. The separation between the inner and outer again just looks a bit odd. The Queen's portrait I don't think is that bad, to be fair. But no, 2012, we had one like this one. Yeah, I think they look quite similar, don't they? Pop them together. Right, 2013. Ooh, why have I picked that one out then? Why have I put that as a fake? I'm not totally convinced that one is fake. It's not as obviously fake as some of the other ones we've seen. I've obviously pulled it out for some reason though. Is there a slight rotation? No. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to put that one off to the side. I'm not totally convinced even on second look at that one. Another 2013. Maybe. Because again, this one definitely looks off. Do look quite similar. Look at the initials IRB, and much bolder on this one than that. Again, those finer points of detail are going to be harder for counterfeiters to copy. Just having a look at the security hologram. Maybe that's what made me think this one might not be genuine, because the hologram just isn't there. There is some sort of shape in there, but it's not the way it should be. So okay. I'm going to change my mind back on that one. Oh no, I think that was with that one, wasn't it? Oh no, that was a new one. Because my system mixed up. So this one, it's just the details on the cogs just aren't right, and we've had that design already, that dodgy portrait of the Queen before. And again, similar sort of stuff with that one. Rotation error. It's a bit off colour. You can see that the security hologram has been etched into it rather than being the hologram which appears and disappears. This one I think it's just... Now this one could just be very, very worn, but it feels very underweight. It's a borderline one. It's a borderline one. It's either very, very worn and used, or it's a fake. 2015, again, blobby portrait of the Queen. I'm sure we've seen one of those already. No, or maybe not. Okay. Another more unique one. 2011. Horrible portrait of the Queen, and again, very much the metals are not quite right on that one. Don't have another one to pair that up with though. 2013. Again, very high rims. Portrait is totally wrong. If we have one of these so far, it looks close, doesn't it? It looks very, very close. 2010, again, colours are wrong. The security hologram is doing something, but it's not quite right, is it? Yeah. Right, 2010. Have we got anything like that? Oh no, we haven't got any 2010 so far. Oh, there we go, another year done. 2009. Probably put it aside because the colours are quite wrong, and again, this weird separation at the bottom here. You will see that sometimes in circulated coins, but it's not like that. Security hologram isn't there. Good indication it's not real. Are these quite similar? Not quite. That's it. They're different enough. And the last one we've got is another 2011 with that dodgy portrait of the Queen. So how many years have we got then out of all of those coins? We've got 2004, 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then we'll ignore those two which I'm not convinced on now. So there's 8 different years, all these different I don't want to say designs, but all these different telltale signs that they are fake or not real. The most prevalent are these 2011s, with this dodgy portrait of the Queen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16 quid's worth there. Followed by these 2015s that are definitely the wrong colour. That pewtery nonsensey portrait of the Queen. But there we go. So yes, when I get fake coins, I keep them. I've got a little collection of them. There's not a lot I can do. I guess I could demand to get the money back from the bank, but I don't think it's worth it. And again, it's kind of interesting seeing all these different fake coins and all the different telltale signs, and hopefully you've been able to pick up some nuggets of knowledge as to how you can to help you spot fake coins, whether that's being handed over to you in change or appearing in your collection. But some interesting coins, and I'm sure it will be followed by more. As usual, down in the description of this video you'll find a link across to my coin collecting Discord server if you want to come over and join that. You'll also find links to my other social media channels, the PO box address if you want to write into me, and of course a link to the Britannia Coin Company's YouTube channel, the company I work for as my day job, so please check them out as well. All it leaves me to do now though is thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for more coins. Bye.